Hey, what's up you guys? Today I'm going to be talking to y'all about how to become a millionaire guaranteed. Now this is going to take some time. This is a long-term method, but it is a guaranteed way for you to become a millionaire, and it's through a concept called pay yourself first, which we're going to go into all the details of what that really means, because it may sound self-explanatory, but there's a certain way that you have to do it. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you how me and my wife actually put this into practice in our own life. So let's get right into it. Right now, 69% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings accounts. Now, with 2020 happening, it's shown all of us how easily that money can just be gone from one day to the next if you don't have a job. And we've seen, unfortunately, a lot of families in the United States fall below the poverty line because of this very reason. Thankfully, the government has programs for people in times of need, which is great, but as a citizen of this country, we need to take personal responsibility for our financial situation. It's great that there's programs that they have, but realistically, guys, the government has a $4.3 trillion retirement savings deficit in our country right now. So we really can't even count on them to have our back in the worst case scenario. So it's really up to us. So for this concept we're about to talk about, it seems really simple, but so few people actually do it, which is really mind-blowing to me, because it's such a simple way to build your wealth over time, to have a guaranteed nest egg for you and your family, and when you decide to retire, whatever age that may be for you. Now, when it comes to pay yourself first, what I really mean is pay yourself second, because the first person that should always be getting paid is God. Give to God what is God, give to Caesar what is Caesar's. That's what Jesus said. So we should be paying God first, then we pay our taxes, and then at that point, we're gonna be paying ourselves first before any of the other bills. So that's what I mean by pay yourself first. But think about it, with the government paying taxes, man, they're gonna take your money whether you want to or not, or you're going to jail. And with bills, they're gonna rack up and they're gonna keep charging you an invoice, and it doesn't matter, they want their money. And at the end of that, people will use whatever money's left over for themselves, you know, as fun money or to buy other things. Now, I'm not saying that having stuff is bad, but if you have less than a few months of income saved in your account right now, then you might not be needing to buy more stuff. You might be needing to put that money away for a bad financial situation that may come up. One of the most widely used concepts when it comes to pay yourself first is the 80-10-10 method. Now, this is where you take 80% of your income and you use that for all of your bills and all of your living expenses. Then you give 10% to God and you save 10% in an account. And you might be thinking to yourself, man, that's really easy. But my question to you is, are you actually doing that? Do you set 10% of your income aside to give to God? And do you set 10% of your income aside to save for your financial future? If you don't currently do that right now, then I would recommend you start somewhere. You know, start giving 5% and then work that up to 10. And once you're done giving God what is His, then start working your way up and saving 1%, 2%, 3%, and make a realistic goal and put a date on it that says, by this point in my life, by next year or whatever, I want to be at 10% paying myself so that I can have my financial security when I get older. Now, the reason you want to start this today is because what we call compounding interest. Now, if you put your money in an account like a Roth IRA or an IUL, which we're going to go into those in a little bit, those accounts have the ability to grow over the rate of inflation. And when your money is growing at a rate above inflation, that's like making your money your employee. And this employee never needs time off. It can work 24/7, 365, 0 holidays. Money is the best type of employee. And also, with time, money can duplicate itself and create more employees, so to speak, that'll make you even more money. But again, you have to give it time, and that's why it's important to start paying yourself today. Another important thing when it comes to paying yourself first is making sure that it's a little bit harder to access than, let's say, just a normal savings account. Because in a savings account, one, you're not even growing above the rate of inflation, so you're losing money. But two, it's really easy to access. I mean, what happened to me when I was in college, I was saving good money. I had a couple $1,000s in savings, and I blew it all because times got a little bit tough, and I was able to transfer that money easily into my checking account to use it for little things here and there that I didn't really need. I thought I needed at the time, but my savings just went to zero by the end of my junior year, and I had to start all over again. So it's really important, guys, that you make it hard to access this money, especially if you lack a little bit of self-discipline, which at some point we all do. So just to safeguard it, make sure it's in an account that's a little bit harder to access. So now I'm gonna go over how me and my wife decided to pay ourselves first. Now, before I became a youth pastor, I was in full-time insurance sales. And during that time, I learned about a product called an IUL, which stands for Index Universal Life Insurance. This was a plan that had a life insurance attached to it, but also was used as an investment tool. Depending on the policy and company that you went with, a portion of the money that you put away would go towards your life insurance plan, and the rest would go towards investing in an index fund, which the one that we use is attached to the S&P 500, which, if you don't know what that is, that's basically a list of the top 500 performing companies on the stock market that are traded publicly, and your money is going to be attached to how well that does or doesn't do. And the S&P 500 grows on average at 9.8% over the past 90 years. So it's a proven model that is guaranteed to grow over time. So you might be asking, well, why don't you just invest in a regular index fund where you don't have to put money towards a life insurance plan? Well, that's a really good question. And the reason that is because when you buy an IUL, the insurance company that you're buying it from actually has the ability to give you what's called a 0% floor, meaning that when the stock market crashes, your money will never go negative, meaning you'll never lose money on a year. You're guaranteed to stay at zero. Now, you won't be gaining interest that year if the market does crash and does take a nosedive like it did back in 2008, but you're not going to be losing your retirement account. And to me, that's what really intrigued me, because I saw what happened back in 08, and I saw the people that were getting ready to retire and they couldn't anymore because they lost all of it in the stock market because they were investing in things like a regular Roth IRA, which does not have that 0% floor, or a 401k, which a lot of people invest into, and even have employer contributions that have gone into it. But if at any point the stock market can crash and all that money is taken away, then you don't really have security. So that's why I decided to go with an IUL, and there's a lot of different companies that offer it. But the reason I went with Mutual of Omaha, which is a Fortune 500 company and has an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau, is because they offer a feature in their IUL which allows you to compound interest faster, which they call the secure leverage feature. Now, I'm gonna leave a video in the description that goes into the details of what that actually is, because that's really the reason why me and my wife were sold on it, because of that feature right there. That's what differentiated this IUL from all the other ones that other insurance companies offer. So right now I'm going to take you guys into my computer screen and show you all how much I'm saving away and what that's going to look like when I retire. All right, so this is a calculator through the Suncor Financial Group. They're the ones that sold me this plan originally, and they provide a calculator, and you can type in basically any information here and find out what it is that you would earn over time. So I'm going to give you guys what I put in here. My current age is 28. I believe I signed up when I was 27, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. Let's just go 28. Desired retirement age, let's say 65. That's kind of normal. And lump sum, this is if you were to give a lump sum up front, which I did not do, so I'm going to put 0 there. Ongoing contributions, this is what you're going to be contributing monthly, annually, depending on whatever you decide. I decided to do $300 a month for myself, and then my wife also is going to be doing $300 a month as well. And you can see here that the yearly contributions adds up to $3,600, and annual retirement income right here, $95,000. And it says Social Security benefits are not included here and may increase your retirement income. So that's just to say that's exactly what the plan on average will produce if you put that money away. Now, look at the cash value. So you become a millionaire over time if you were to start at 28, putting $300 away monthly. Now, the MPI match, I'm not really sure about what that number means, but the total contributions of how much money I will put in by the time I'm 65 is $133,000. So basically my money over time, by the time I turn 65, it will almost have multiplied itself by 10 times by the time I'm retired. So that's really cool. And the initial life insurance amount will be $154,800. And that's what you're going to receive if you were to pass away shortly. Well, technically you wouldn't receive that because you'd be dead, but someone else in your family who you choose would receive that money. Now, I've looked through my plan and I actually have a little bit more than that. This is just kind of like a rough summary. So yeah, that's just to help out if ever, worst case scenario were to happen, my family would get that money and be financially able to take on the next couple years if they need to. So this is the type of plan that I have. My wife has the same exact one. She started when she was 27, I believe. And so she's going to have a little bit more if we were to start taking out at 65. Now, this is annually, guys. This is what you can comfortably take out annually, and your money will still be growing over time. Now, you can choose to take out more than that if you want, but your account will be starting to diminish at that point. But if you're 65 or if you're 70, when you want to start taking it out, it just grows from there. Now, I also do plan to get one of these for my son and maybe, contribute until the time he gets married. Let's just say 25, lump sum 0, probably just $100 monthly. $1,200 a year. That's not a ton of money, but check this out. By the time he is 25, he'll have $90,000 in this MPI plan. And then from there, he can start contributing even more money if he wants to build up that retirement, or he could just take out $9,000 every single year for the rest of his life if he wants to use it for whatever it is. And it's going to continue to stay around this amount in cash value. So guys, I'm going to put this link in the description to this calculator so that you guys can kind of see for your situation how much you'd have in retirement. And this is, again, guys, this is estimated. It could be more than that. It could be a little bit less than that. but that is estimated based on how the S&P 500 has been doing over the past 90 years. That's what they use to kind of gauge this model. So I hope you guys learned something today. You know, maybe got your wheels going in the right direction of paying yourself first, because you can become an automatic millionaire or a guaranteed millionaire over time if you just start to put money away right now and start saving it in an account like a Roth IRA or an MPI plan if that works better for your situation. Now, my wife is a life insurance agent still, so you can hit her up. I'm going to put her email in the description. And if you have any questions on the MPI or any life insurance plan, you just want a quote for free, you can go ahead and email her. She'll send you some info and get you the best quote for your situation. Now, with an MPI plan, I will say as a disclaimer, you do have to be pretty healthy. They check your, your weight, your health. They do a blood test. So it's only the healthy people that can have this type of plan with the MPI that they sell through Mutual of Omaha. But if you need a life insurance plan, there's some out there that sell to really anybody. Just depends on how much you're willing to pay and how much you want as the death benefit. So anyway, guys, I hope that this video helped you. If you wouldn't mind smashing the like button, it helps me out a lot on my channel. I appreciate it. Right now I'm at 300 subscribers. So thank you all for subscribing. I hope that this video helped and kind of brought a little bit of financial education for you. And who knows, maybe it'll make you a millionaire one day. But with all that being said, guys, I'm Ben Garcia in the next one.